shit! Wait, are you kidding me? That rock just came down, or from up there. No! Oh my holy! Can you turn that flashlight off if you're near us right now?
Although exploring caves can be exciting and daring, it can also be risky at times because you never know what might be inside. Is it a reality or an illusion? To find out if it's the latter, let's explore some live cave encounters. Choosing to visit a haunted location and even spend the night there despite knowing it is haunted is a true act of courage. To visit a haunted cavern, a couple flies to Arizona. They chose to spend the night there in order to add excitement. The pair were incredibly eager to experience this. To enter the cave, they took an elevator more than 200 feet below the surface. They were astounded by the view as soon as they got out of the lift and arrived at the cave.
This is the only way in and the only way out of where we're going. I mean, there are some stairs, but I don't know, would you do the stairs?
No, it's like 217 feet down, they said.
Yeah.
The cave was very well preserved. There was even a place to get food there. They then discovered a location that the camper claimed had been used as a fallout bunker in the 1960s. Supplies used during the Cuban Missile Crisis, including medications, candy, crackers, water bottles, etc., were preserved inside a box. This shelter area was surrounded by a fence to maintain its historical appearance.
So right over there, and I did a video there too. You could actually get dinner there and lunch. It's pretty good. They bring it down from upstairs, as it is used as a fallout shelter. In fact, during the whole Cuban Missile Crisis, they brought down a lot of things to survive off of. I know that, I want to say that the stuff that's down here is from the 1960s, and it's here right in front of us. Yeah. Underground emergency shelter. And look, it shows right here some of the things that would be packed. Oh wow, I'm so out of breath. Whew. Crackers and some candies and stuff.
The camper continued to travel and discovered flowers on the cave's ceiling that, according to him, were even older than him. Then he spotted a restored theater-style space where ceremonies were held in the past. He even described how certain well-known people, such as Marilyn Monroe and Alfred Hitchcock, sat in these stage chairs. Isn't it ironic seeing all of this?
I don't know if you guys see this, but there's like flowers up there. That's from people's weddings. And I want to say, I mean, I'm not 100% on this, but one of those flowers are like older than me. So yeah, they've been having weddings down here for a hot minute. Like there's one up there. Those theater seats that I was telling you about, they came from a Hollywood theater. And check this out. The list is even longer than I thought. Alfred Hitchcock for sure, but Jackie Gleason, Frank Sinatra, John Travolta, one of my favorite producers slash directors, Steven Spielberg, actually sat in one of those chairs, along with Marilyn Monroe.
The moment the camper turned off the cavern's lights, the adventure officially began. The camper was now encircled by utter blackness. He was quite anxious and afraid.
Bam! Hopefully we can record some too a little bit later. We're gonna turn off all of the lights. You ready? 3, 2, 1. Why does freaky stuff happen when you turn the lights off? I'm hearing all kinds of noises over here.
The male camper was awake when he heard 3 sounds of something falling from various places, while the female camper eventually fell asleep. He got out of bed and started looking around to see where the noises were coming from.
I legit heard about 3 noises. And one of them I think you heard too. Sounded like something fell. Maybe a rock. Yo, I'm in my underwear right now. And it's cold. Never noticed that. I feel like there's somebody down here. Hello? I've not been up here yet. Is that you, Melissa?
Something seemed to be wandering around him as he kept on walking. By this time, he was screaming and quite frightened, so he hurried back to his bed right away.
Who's there? Who's there? Quit messing around. Alright. I knew you heard that.
The question still stands. Was it a camper's hallucination, or were there real ghosts wandering around? A small group of boys made the decision to investigate the Lovelock cave, which was encircled by spirits known as Skinwalkers. The hiker claimed that around 60 Native Americans formerly lived in this cave, most likely in the 1800s. He also told that 4 red-headed giants lived with these natives and ruled over them. The natives used to sacrifice one of their own people to these giants, and as time went on, their numbers began to decline until they made the decision to band together with others and battle the giants. It was said that a massive conflict broke out between the natives and the giants. Ultimately, the giants were killed by the natives.
This is the Lovelock cave, up here, up on there. It's gonna go down into the cave, and you're gonna see a bunch of different things. And I'm gonna show you the history right now. So first off, back in the ancient times, it could even be the last ice age for all we know. Back in the day, there was a Native American tribe that was here, but also there was a human race that were giants. They had red here, and it's proven. Like if I see, yeah, there was a giant that roamed here that protected this place or whatever, you guys would be like, no, that can't be true. But there were giants. It's proven. There was actual bone fragments and bones that they found. And actually going forward to 1800s, when they rediscovered this place, it was a miner who rediscovered this place. There was 4 giants found when they were digging up this site. And not only that, there were 60 Native Americans here found, bodies in the cave.
For more than a century, a story has persisted about the skeletons of giants being found in Lovelock Cave in northern Nevada.
And for many years, human remains were put on display in museums here and elsewhere, but that changed. Most of the bones and skulls that were once considered to be historical artifacts have been returned to tribes for burial.
According to tribal lore, a race of red-headed giants made its last stand in this cave. Paiute elders who say the stories are true, that the red-headed interlopers not only killed but ate their ancestors. Later, scientific excavations found troves of native antiquities along with bones.
Back in the ancient times, the Native Americans that were here were pretty much being bullied by the giants. The giants were the head dogs here. And what happened is every month or every so often, the Native Americans had to sacrifice one of their own men to the giants. The giants had right here. Over time, the tribe started declining and declining. And then so what happened was the tribe grouped up with other tribes, and together they started a war with the giants. And they pretty much killed most of them, and whatever was left was inside the cave. And they were like, come out now, come out now. And as they're throwing flaming arrows, tons of arrows into the cave, forcing them to come out, they all ended up dying from the arrows that just hailed upon them. Now, why did they stay here? Because of this. There's a lot of flat land. That was an ancient lake, explorers. That lake was here since the last ice age. And pretty much back then you would always settle by water. But that's why this was a perfect place for the Native Americans as well as the giants to stay here. Now what gets even more interesting is you're gonna ask, where are the bones now then? Where are the giant bones? So apparently something happened with the government, and the government took them out. They were in a museum at one point. The government took them out, and now, as of right now, no one knows where the giant bones are. Is it a conspiracy? Maybe. I don't know. Again, they found 60 Native American bodies in there, and they found 4 giants in there. And with all the stories and everything that happened, it is actually insane. It was back in the 1800s when they rediscovered the mine. It was like 1880s. And ever since then, this is the story of Lovelock Cave. This is insane.
One of the group's men who had previously visited and seen evidence of skinwalkers described what skinwalkers were. He claimed that the skinwalker was an evil spirit with fiery orange-red eyes that could appear as either a human or an animal. Additionally, he explained that these spirits allure people to approach them rather than attacking themselves.
So a skinwalker is basically a spirit, somewhat of an evil spirit that can take physical forms, and they can change that physical form. It's a spirit of someone that was once living, that was cursed or forced to stay here on this plane, in this realm, and to do evil things to people, basically kind of for no reason. They're in that culture, they're kind of somewhat of a vengeful spirit. Like I said, they can take different physical forms. A lot of the time people see them as coyotes, wolves, deer, literally anything.
Not only that, but they can also make themselves sound like somebody who you know. So say you guys start hearing one of us yell, yet we're right with you. Or one of us goes to the car. Hopefully that's not the case, that just one of us goes to the car. But yeah, you guys could literally be tricked into going and falling for their trap. They won't physically hunt for you. They'll try and get you to go to them.
And I heard like they'll have like yellow or red eyes.
Yeah, so most animals you see on camera or with a flashlight, your own eyes, whatever it is, you'll shine the light on them and their eyes glow kind of a yellowish green sort of thing. Skinwalkers' eyes are supposed to be like a fiery orange, a red even. And that's how you can kind of tell.
The boys began their journey in the direction of the cave. It was a terrifyingly narrow trek with a steep mountain on one side of it. After hiking a short distance, they discovered a deep, hollow opening where 60 native remains were discovered.
Whoa.
Wait until you get up there, dude.
It's even worse?
Freaking trip.
Yeah, this is crazy. If you fall right here, you're just rolling down. I mean, no joke, it is pretty steep. For sure. Dang. Goes down in there.
That's where all the bodies were found.
Wow.
Right at the bottom.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
One of them then pulled out a tiny statue-like object that turned out to be an Aztec death whistle. This whistle was originally designed to mimic the sound of someone who has been injured or is in pain. So when it is blown, it mimics the sound of someone who is in extreme pain. When one of the hikers began to blow in it, the sound it produced was truly heart-throbbing. It even made my heart sprung out of my chest.
What is this thing?
So basically this is an Aztec death whistle, and this imitates basically someone who is injured or hurt. They used to use it for sacrifices.
Right.
So
and remember though, sacrifices did happen here as well. So we might be waking up some bad energy in the past to come back. Maybe. We don't know, but watch when you hear it.
So what we're gonna do is we're gonna blow it and see if we can gather that energy, hopefully. What it sounds like is somebody in pain, somebody screaming for their lives. And so what we're trying to do is see if we can recreate what sounds like somebody in pain and see if we can attract any skinwalkers here. They're obviously not going to come right away, but what they'll do is they'll walk around, they'll kind of just do their thing and scope us out.
That just scared the out of me. I did not expect it to sound like that.
After blowing the whistle, the hiker made the decision to use his EVP DR60 to see if it had roused any spirits. The hiker asked whether anyone was with them and started recording on his EVP. The trekker asked a few questions, then played back the recording. To everyone's surprise, a voice said, "Hey," in response to the trekker's query.
All right, guys, here we go. We're gonna do EVP recording now. Is there anyone here with us right now? In my hand is a device that will let us talk to you. If you come right up to me and speak pretty much into my hand with the red blinking light you'll see in front of you, we will be able to understand you. Is there someone down there? That was a thumping there. There's a dig. Are we in danger if we go down there? Should we leave right now? I'm gonna play it back. Let's see what we can get. You guys ready?
Is this close enough?
That's perfect. Here we go.
Is there anyone here with us right now? In my hand is a device that will let us talk to you. If you come right up to me and speak pretty much into my ear with the red blinking light you'll see in front of you, we will be able to understand you. Is there someone down there?
Oh my! It said, "Hey!" Whoa. Class A EVP. Holy fuck! Whoa! That was no way! Holy
Dude! Guys, this is why we use the DR60.
Yo, straight up chills.
Look, that
Tell me not.
The entire group was in complete amazement and had goosebumps when they heard this. They continued asking questions, and when the hiker asked as to whether they should depart rather than go into the cave, a voice once again said, "Leave."
If we enter this cave, are we in danger?
We'll play this one back.
We're getting attacked,
All
bro.
right.
Is there anyone down there? Can you scream and let us know that you're here? How many of you have died there? Are you okay with us going down and talking to you? Are you scared of the giants? If you want us to leave the cave, can you say the word leave as loudly and as clearly as possible so we can hear you? If we enter this
What was that?
cave,
That was something before. Yeah, here we go.
if you want us to leave the cave, can you say the word leave as loudly and as clearly as possible so we can hear you? If we enter
Is that a hey? Leave? That said leave, bro. Oh,
Leave, and then he's like, if we enter.
So it said leave. It was hey. We got a hey. We said leave. So it already doesn't want us here.
The whole group chose to go into the cave, despite their shock at hearing the voice. They were quite courageous, I would say. I would have very likely run back if I had been there. They had everything set up to capture the spirits as they entered the cave, from antennas that would ring in response to contact, to cameras. To get a sign from the spirits, the group members began questioning them one by one. The antenna began to ring abruptly as soon as the man requested the ghost to provide them with a sign regarding a giant that lived in that cave.
What a spirit can do is go close to the rod, and it'll start to make a noise like that.
Can you give me a sign if there was a giant that actually lived here? Dude. Oh.
Music box went too?
Jack went too.
After exploring and conversing with the ghosts in the cave, the group made the decision to continue their exploration. In order to get a sign from the spirits, they placed flashlights all around them. The flashlight just in front of them began to illuminate as soon as they asked a question.
Can you turn that flashlight off if you're near us right now?
You can't make this up right now. This is going insane.
So we have that flashlight going off.
Oh! Yup.
Oh!
On and off, quick.
Dude!
On.
Hi!
And
So
now-
you...
Dude, this is incredible. What?
Whoa, blinking on us.
They continued asking the spirits questions, and in response, the flashlight kept on flickering, Even the music box they kept inside the cave began ringing at one point. After speaking with the spirits for some time and obtaining sufficient proof, they left for their cars. Now this is insane. How brave should one be to go to such a place? That's the only question I have. It takes a lot of boldness and confidence to enter a cave where you have previously gone and have witnessed paranormal activity. In order to obtain additional proof that the cave is haunted, this man and his friend made the decision to return to the haunted cave. The man jerked slightly when a white light-like object sped by him as soon as he began recording.
So the spirit box that I did bring with me, a lot of you familiar with it. My old spirit box that uses radio frequencies, we couldn't really reach anything out here. I mean, we're in the middle of nowhere, no cell phone signal down here. I'm willing to put money that it is gonna work in. Whoa, dude, something just flew by me. Yeah, it's like a white light. It went whoosh. I think I might have caught that on video too.
See what it looked like at all? Just a white light?
It looked like a bird at first, but it was like a huge orb. It was definitely not a bird.
Dude, there's no birds in there, right?
Nah.
The man and his friend chose to explore the cave, rather than retreat out of fear. Both men entered the cave, chose a spot, and made the decision to speak with the spirits using 2 gadgets. While the others started conversing with the ghosts, the first one started recording. Several voices began responding as soon as the man began to ask questions. A woman, a few men, and even some kids could be heard speaking. Even though hearing those voices gave the boys the chills, they continued to question the ghosts.
Are there any spirits here that want to communicate with us tonight? What's your name? Names? No. You don't have a name? Lock coming through now. Did you look that way?
It's been pointing that way.
There was a dark figure that walked by,
right.
like it was in the corner.
Let me know if you guys saw that too.
What was that just passed in the corner?
Is that me?
Who's me?
Do you want to talk to us?
Open. What about these dolls behind us? Where'd they come from?
Is it what? Angus? Could that be a name? Ooh, dude.
That's a light.
Chills, like big chills.
I've never heard 2 EVPs come through exactly the same, just like that.
No.
Here. Who's here? I am.
Yeah. Is there a child here? Did it say go? Talk to us and then we'll go.
Anybody die here while mining?
Me? Is that like a me? Can you speak clearer?
I heard friend. So are you our friend?
Dude, there's something in here that doesn't.
They chose to turn off the light after speaking with the spirits. It was completely dark when they turned off the light, and the camera that the other person was using to record abruptly began to flicker. The man shared that it seemed as if someone had touched it and adjusted its settings somehow. After a while, the camera abruptly shut off, even though it was fully charged.
Like it just.
Did your camera just like start freaking out?
Yeah, it stopped recording and it won't go off the saving screen now. Oh.
Whoa. Wait,
It turned it. It changed it to something.
Something just messed with Aiden's camera settings.
Yeah, for real. I turned it off video. Nope.
Okay, I don't want to do the whole dark
turned it off.
anymore. What, really?
It just turned it off.
Did your battery die?
No, this has got full battery. You see that? It's full battery there. Let me turn it back on. It's got 75% there. No, it just... I didn't touch it at all.
They were concerned that their light might run out of battery power, so they made the decision to exit the cave. They also chose to leave immediately because one of the guys was experiencing a panic attack of some sort. Hearing those voices locked there was truly depressing, especially those of the women and children. I am still curious though, whose dolls were they, and how did they get there? 2 women along with some men made the decision to go to a haunted cave that had dolls scattered throughout it. After entering the cave and traveling a short distance, they eventually saw some dolls resting on a rock.
Some dolls.
Yep. The dolls.
Boy. It smells like beer in here. Yeah, this is pretty fresh.
They then proceeded inside and discovered a large, hollow pit. One of the group's members began by describing how they had heard from a variety of sources about a woman and several people screaming inside that pit.
That's where we've heard mumbling, like a woman talking. That's what people have reported hearing, like screams.
After trekking a while, the group came to a halt where they started tossing rocks into a pit to see if any spirits would interact with them in return. A voice that mimicked the sound of a drum or a heartbeat eventually reached the man as he began tossing a rock into the hole.
I'm actually going to throw a rock. I know Michael tried doing that earlier for you. You can, if you're maybe not comfortable with our presence here, but if you want to maybe throw it in the distance, if you're more comfortable with that, so we can hear it still, that would be great. So I'm going to throw a rock. I'm going to throw it. Here we go.
Since it was getting late, the group decided to depart after spending some time in the cave. Do you think the man's perception of a shadow was a result of his imagination or something else entirely? 2 insane individuals made the decision to go down a pit cave in this case. Why did I call them insane? Because they intended to glide down the pit cave using ropes. Before traveling down, they first tied a rope to the tree. When a boulder fell from above while they were halfway there, they knew the pit was deep because the rock kept falling. The walk seemed very risky because the cave sides were slick from the water dropping from above.
Alright, we got our rope strung up and we're going in. Woo, that's deeper than I thought. It's another 40 feet down at least. Yep. Dude, that kept going. Yeah.
They eventually reached the ground after 3 touchdowns. They were surrounded by a maze-like cavern with several openings and closings. One of them chose to enter a tiny dome, and as soon as he started to go down, it appeared to be very narrow because he was hardly able to fit inside it. Anyways, he kept going down the pit, and it seemed that the dome was very deep.
Now, let me check out this dome. Oh. I see what you mean, that's a tight one. I'm going into this hole that's so tight. I had to take my helmet off. Oh, that's tight. Really sharp too. And I think I gotta just keep going down. Oh, it actually led somewhere. Oh look, somebody put a survey tape
We're gonna go further down there.
As he reached the end of the dome, he found himself in a very chilly stream of water. There was another opening in front of him, but the man had to crawl in order to enter. It was super crazy and thrilling.
This is freezing. This thing is so low, my ear's going underwater. Oh, that's cold. This is freezing. This is where I'm at. Water's right here. There's no room for me to move my head. If I try and tilt it up, my mouth goes underwater.
He crawled a little distance, but as the area grew smaller, he made the decision to turn around and head back before getting trapped there.
I'm moving a little bit. I think I pushed it too far that time. I gotta go find James. Hey, James! Oh. I'm coming. Dude, I got stuck. No. I was having a little freak out moment.
So it never really opened up back there?
No, dude. I kept thinking it was, but it was an illusion. It got tighter and tighter until I got myself in a bad situation.
Horrible.
Oh, hey, I was looking for this flashlight.
There it is.
I thought I had left it somewhere back there.
Man, that was incredible to watch, right? Would you have ventured there by yourself? Seeing these live videos is truly insane because you can never tell if it was real or not. Are shadow figures, ghosts conversing, and skinwalkers real? Or is it just our mind playing tricks on us? Anyways, there is no denying that such caverns have something that entices people to visit. Feel free to share in the comments section below any experiences you may have where you saw something out of the ordinary. To ensure you don't miss out on any more thrilling adventures, subscribe to us and don't forget to give us a thumbs up.